Zach, against the Chicago Bears, it was mostly the backups that played. To be expected. It's the first preseason game. Not a ton of starters, but in certain areas on the roster, you had opened our eyes to the lack of depth. The last time you were in, you talked about the fact that the Browns could have signed two guys from our show and plugged them in at defensive tackle because that's how thin they were at certain areas. Do you believe that Saturday, and you could tell me yes, no, and what position, was an eye-opening realization for Andrew Berry in the front office about truly how thin they are at certain areas with just not enough NFL caliber talent?
Yeah, I think at corner and at tight end, it had to be. And I think that limited how they prepare for a game that you're just trying to get through, really. But I think in general, they knew. Like, they tried to sign Kalia Davis in free agency because they think he's a young guy with upside at defensive tackle. He's been hurt since the first day. Like, they know it's a big year for Michael Hall. He's been hurt since the first week. He hasn't been out there. So some of it is part of what goes on. And every team across the league has scrambled to sign UFL guys and CFL guys and bottom of the roster guys to get through camp. But there are multiple spots for this team right now where there's just no depth. And that really, the fall off at running back is steep. The fall off at tight end is really steep. Finally, at receiver, they've created some good competition. I think it's at least decent competition at offensive line, but across the defense, it's really, really thin. Now, some of it, guys, at corner is like you have Ward and you have Campbell, and they're great. So there's, of course, a drop-off.
Yeah.
But it falls off a cliff. There's nothing subtle about it.
Are you surprised that they're pursuing? I mean, obviously, they're not happy with the DN room. We knew they pursued Jadeveon Clowney. Now the Za'Darius Smith pursuit. Are you at all surprised that they keep going after these veteran DNs?
No, because I think that that's how they play defense. And also I think that they look at it like, we're going to get a guy on a one-year deal, and we have Isaiah McGuire, who's only signed through this year. So if it goes the way it probably is going to, then we could trade one of them in October and make a signing now and turn it into an asset. Last year, they traded their fourth defensive end, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Remember him?
Yeah.
He played in about 5 games, made 1 play, and they got a 6th-round pick for him from the Bears. And he retired.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's why. Nah, yeah, it's I would say, Zach, I look at the linebacker. They're really. I thought Quincy Williams is. I mean, he's all over the place. I love him. I love that signing. Carson Schwarzenegger, you already know what that is, but it's very thin when you talk about Malik Collins. You know, being injured. He's been injured the entire time. Mike Hall Jr. been injured. If they need something, if they want to like play well, they're gonna have to have Mason Graham be a top 5 pick. Like, there's no ways about it. Like, he has to be on the field, playing every game, and they have to get a level of production from him. But other than that, defensive tackle and linebackers, they can't afford no injuries, because the guys that I saw him running down there, I'm like, who is this guy? Who's these linebackers?
Right. Like, anybody can make this team at linebacker. Like, these are special teams guys, Winston Reed and Mascarenas Arnold, and they're playing as starters right now. So the guys behind them are, should be barely making the team, and they're going to have to play down. So I think what will happen, G, is I think Emmanuel Warren will just play all the time when the season starts. And you'll be in 2 linebackers. Yeah. Teams will attack you accordingly, but you're going to have those 2.
Gotcha.
And the team does not have to talk about injuries right now, so they're not. But trust me, Carson Schwarzenegger's fine. He's going through full workout every day. He's been in walkthrough for the last week. They're just not putting him out there because it's a 17-game season. They're just not using him.
Well, you saw what happened to Love out in Arizona. They're cautionary tales, but it happens. It's football. It's a fast, strong, aggressive sport. It's contact. No, but it's a high ankle sprain. They're hoping, and I think this is kind of ridiculous, but they're hoping he'll be back for the opening game. But you don't come back from high ankle sprains unless you're Carson Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Did he do that last year? And we were all like, what is this guy? Is he human?
Wolverine.
Unless you're Logan, you're not getting that off.
Yeah, and so and that is a cautionary tale. I'm perfectly fine with guys like that. He's ready right now. What scares me is if we're this injured on August 17th.
Yeah.
What are we going to look like in October?
Right.
Like we have
November.
no reason to be injured
December.
yet. Yeah, December.
It's
my
a
God.
damned if you do.
You're playing in December. Get ready.
Yeah.
What's the name? Let's talk about this. Todd Monken said something after the game. He said, I get the fans thing, and I get everybody, and you know what I'm saying. And Deshaun, I'm happy that he came back and was able to get out there and have some fun again. What is it, assuming in your opinion, you say that you think Deshaun's going to win this quarterback job. What does that look like?
You mean as far as this week?
No. What does that look like as far as how, once he's named, if he is named a quarterback? What does that look like in terms of the entire packaging of it? How are people going to react? How do people are going to go about it?
I mean, in what universe is an NFL head coach up there selling his quarterback after a first preseason game to the fans? Like, where does this go on? Only here. So I think the announcement will come a week from today. They'll play on Saturday. I don't think he'll make any announcement on Sunday because he won't have talked to the players. That's legally their day off. And then I think they'll start getting ready. So I don't think it's dead this week. I think that there really is some competition going on. But I think it's going to be Deshaun Watson as a starting QB.